All right, welcome to an edition of MYFX Buddies, the podcast. And I say podcast because there's a blog. The blog can be found at myfxbuddies.blogspot.com. And wherever you're listening, if you go to the more or description or whatever box, there's a link in there that'll take you to the blog. And guess what? I now can put the video on the blog. So then you have everything all in one place. Hold on. Another important person is texting me. But I can't. I gotta answer this one right now. Okay. I know we're not supposed to have silence. You get a fine. Right? Don't you get a fine if you have too many seconds of silence? All right. It is Tuesday. It is 8:13 in the evening, and it is the day before Lover's Day, Valentine's Day. But I'm saying Lover's Day. Well, I'm going to say Love Day because I don't have a Valentine and I don't have no lover. But I do have people that I love, and I will spread love tomorrow to those that I love. All right, so I said all that to say it's early enough in the day that in the evening, that I should be posting this. It should be dated February 13th when you watch it, listen to it, whatever. Okay, so also Spotify.com, if you're a paying customer, I believe has video content. RSS.com has a transcript that is relatively accurate, and that's it. But wherever you are listening, please what is it? If there's a join, follow, whatever button, click that, hit that, tap that, whatever, and the next time I update, if everything works as it's supposed to, you'll get updated. All right, so this is going to be short. You're right. So, we did hear, so the title of this is Electronic Payment. Money is hoarded in homes and education is not at the required level. So here's another one of those articles that I don't like. Remember, I say they are mistaking. Okay, possibly, maybe there's some people, because I do know there's some people over there that don't read. But here in America, there's grown people that don't read that function, right? They pay bills, they work, they just somehow function even though they can't read, right? And it doesn't mean that they're dumb. It just means they never learned to read. But anyway, I still think it's not that they don't understand the electronic system. Maybe, maybe there's some that don't. But I think the bulk of them that are not on the system just don't want to be, right? They want to continue to use their cash. So, this is, you can read this. He's just talking about where they were, where they are now, where they're going to go, right? But economic experts believe that education for electronic payment in Iraq is not yet at the required level. According to experts, yeah, it's always the experts, right? They think they're so smart. And what are they an expert at? Anyway, the Iraqi government, through attempts to implement electronic payment, aims to withdraw the monetary mass circulating in Iraq, which amounts to 84 trillion dinars. Yeah, so they must know that number's been pretty standard. So somehow they know. I don't know how they know, but somehow they can figure, guesstimate, whatever. So this one, I'm not going to say that name, believes that implementing the electronic payment system in all governmental and non-governmental sectors is difficult to achieve in Iraq due to the lack of electronic culture among citizens of all segments. Okay, I like that, right? They don't want the electronic culture. They want the money, 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 right? Indicating that cash payment cannot be stopped and will remain partially due to its necessity. And even, I think it was Sweden. I don't know, one of those countries I don't ever plan to go to. They went cashless and now they're going back to having cash because there's always going to be a need for someone. Like, what if you're going to tip someone, or little Johnny cuts your grass and you want to give little Johnny $20, even though nowadays little Johnny's probably got Apple Pay on his phone, right? But anyway, so let me get back to this. Okay, so this Kanani, Al-Kanani, that's his last name. I don't know how to say his first name, and it's going to sound weird if I say it. The best way for electronic payment to be successful is for the central bank to carry out the process of deleting the 3 zeros. But then he says from the currency. Okay, let me say that in a normal voice. Deleting 3 zeros from the currency, printing new currencies, and announcing a period for 1 month for citizens to exchange all their money with a new edition, which will give an impression of the strength of the dinar against the dollar and the rest of the currencies. But how come he doesn't say and change the rate? I've read this a few times. This is a fairly easy to read. I have comprehension issues, but this was really easy. And then he does go on to say they need to do something because the citizens have lost confidence since 2003. But so I just thought it was interesting. Here's an economist saying, "Hey, CBI, why don't you finish that delete 3 zeros project, right?" So always good to see that, and always good to see someone saying we need to strengthen the dinar. So if you go to the blog, that article's there for free. All right? Okay. All right. Then this came out today also. An economic expert reveals a new desire by the central bank to reduce the dollar, but on one condition. Why is it a new desire? Shouldn't it be? It should be like the single most burning desire. They want to change the exchange rate, right? But anyway, okay, my computer's really slow. I got it working really hard. All right. So Safwan Quaise, that's how I say his name. I'm probably not saying it right. No disrespect. But they interview him. He gets interviewed on TV. I'm not sure why he's another expert, economic expert, but I don't know why they like to bring him on, but they do. So he was discussing this, right? But it says he revealed a new desire by the Central Bank of Iraq to reduce the dollar after zeroing out internal debts. So will that ever happen? Is there ever a country that doesn't have internal debts? I don't know. I've never run a country, but it just seems like that's a big to do. However, right? Let's keep on reading. And I hate that this whole thing is bolded. So he goes on and talks about the 2022 budget. I think he even talks about the 23 budget. Sudani had this big lofty goal of doing all this stuff. He talks about that. Here, the process of re-estimating. Wish that said something else, but then they go into it's science-based. So I don't know what that is. And it's the Ministry of Finance presents estimates that must discuss the scientific basis regarding the cost of each program. When does science get in a budget? Apparently. That's why I'm broke, because I don't use a budget. No, I don't know, whatever. I'm sure running a budget for a country is totally different. So here they talk about fluctuations and stuff the World Bank wants. But anyway, the last 3 paragraphs, or 2, are the best. The Central Bank of Iraq's desire to return the dollar to its previous status. What is that? Right? I'd like to get a definition of the previous status, but not before the internal debts are zeroed out. Finance has alternatives to settle these debts, including transferring some state shares, and the Ramadan Bank can also fulfill the central bank's dues. So they already have an answer, right? They already have an answer how they can zero out the debt. He also concluded with real support from the dinar in the diversification of economic resources, and Iraq can cover its financial needs without the need for hard currency. Iraqi banks that are currently restricted are thinking about offering a variety of products in the local environment, and I believe that they will achieve higher profits than they acquired from the dollar. So he's just saying it'll be better all the way around if we go to the dinar, right? And it probably will. Okay, Mohammed Saleh came out and said Iraq is experiencing high price stability and the decline of parallel market noise. So basically, it's been about 1,520 dinars per dollar for about 11 days now. Now this, I've read this over and over and over, and I don't understand. All dollar editions, oh, I get this, okay. All dollar editions are valid for circulation. 5 new instructions from whatever that is. I like that it ends in ISH though. So this is in Kurdistan, and it's a securities, right? Whatever, Suleimania, this word here, security directorate. So this is a exchange place, right, where they go to, probably they could send money there too. And including prohibiting discrimination between old and new dollar editions, and dealing in electronic currency in any form. Prohibit means you get to do it, right? Oh, no, prohibiting discrimination. Okay. And dealing in electronic currency in any form. So all they're going to do is deal in dollars, right? If I'm reading that right. So are they getting people to try to come in and bring their dollars in? I don't know. But they do have 5 directives here. I need to sneeze. Oh my gosh. It is not permissible to distinguish between old and new editions of dollars and currency, but counterfeit, torn, completely broken is not accepted. When the transfer is received, so they can get money, right? A transfer is received, there is no need for a guarantor, and it must be delivered to the named person. So whoever is on the name that's supposed to receive the money, that's who has to get it. The person receiving the transfer must have ID. The transaction must be direct and face-to-face. Dealing in electronic currency in any form is not permitted. So, is this one center? Is it many centers? I don't know. I only saw this in one place, and it's Kurdistan. So I don't know. Maybe it'll expand and I'll find it somewhere else too, but I don't know. It's confusing. But I'm hoping they're trying to get the dollar in from the people. All right, let's see. This one is, let's see, is this the one? No. The window for selling the currency ends in 2024, and the central bank will devote itself to supervision. And I thought that was interesting because they're supposed to be supervising transfers right now, right? Some of them, not all of them, but some of them. So they've been saying they're going to close the currency auction, the dollar, where they go to buy dollars during this year, 2024. And cash sales are now few in relation to remittances. That's true. But they're still 200 million or more sometimes. They're still buying that many dollars when they send those dollars off supposedly for goods and services. Importing goods from abroad, right? It says it right there. The Central Bank of Iraq decided to end the currency window process and adopt correspondent banks as an alternative, which was Jordan, the UAE bank also, right? There will be a new mechanism to provide currency for transfers without returning to the currency window or the electronic platform. When? When can we see that new mechanism? I guess sometimes during 2024, right? Then there's a little bit more to that. How we doing? Okay. So KRG, that's the Kurdistan Regional Government. This My Account is a system where I believe it's the state, they say civil servants, so government workers, state workers, that's their digital system. And they already had some, they expect it to be complete by 2025. But so they have approximately 190,000 civil servants are in the program. Is that up? So I think that's a higher number. It's increased from what it was before. But also, see, remember in the other, the last blog where I was telling you they're going 5G, they have all this newfangled wiring. I know that's a very technical term. But these type of systems they need the fastest, the most stable connections, right? Okay. Economic expert. Okay, so I have to say that I am wrong. And I'm glad to say I am wrong. China's markets are back open already. So they were only shut for 4 days if you count the weekend, but they're shut on the weekend anyway. So they were only closed for 2 business days. So I remember I was thinking the markets wouldn't open until February 19th, but I was watching Bloomberg and the China time is back on, and there the markets were. They're not doing well, I'll tell you that. But anyway, so that was one thing I wanted to announce. And so they're gearing up for Ramadan, which again was March 12th. So they're saying, okay, yeah, prices are stable now, but we always know around Ramadan, prices go up. So it's going to be interesting to see. And then, okay, I have a whole bunch of thoughts in my head. Okay, so the market people, the merchants, they depend on the Iraqis travel during that time to Iraq, right? But they need 90% of those imported dollars help them. So they're looking for that. But I'm thinking if they raise their prices, Sadani's already done it once, he will subsidize markets so they won't raise their prices. But he doesn't subsidize all of them, just certain ones. So we'll see if that happens. All right, and here's another article about that. The parallel dollar is expected to rise before the month of Ramadan. But hopefully it won't. But if you go by past It usually does. Okay. So here we're back to the budget. It may take 6 months to approve the 2024 budget. What's up with that? But this is just one guy. So there's some changes that need to be made. They're increasing project numbers. There was something else. They're increasing, of course, right? Never decrease. Budgets always increase. But they weren't supposed to go through this again, but they are. And they're blaming it. Whoever Kadimi is blaming the Ministry of Finance. The issue has been stalled by the Ministry of Finance. But something's not right, probably. Okay, and that's kind of long. And people like to read about the Kurds. And of course, yes, that is part of the problem. And then here, so anything, I try to make, I think this is blue. To me, it looks purple, but it should be blue. You can read the blue parts, or you can read the whole thing. Here's my one commercial. Make $75. It's not a business, and you're not selling anything. All right, here, look at this. Supercell and Shahid sign an agreement related to digital entertainment in Iraq. So there they are, signing the very official looking papers. But so this is it's a video on demand. Shahid must be something for the Middle East, right? They can get a free subscription, and the free subscription opens the door to the rich Shahid library, which includes Shahid originals, Shahid premieres, I think it's video games. So it'll broadcast TV channels in HD quality. So what do you need for that? 5G and high interconnectivity and all that stuff. All the stuff that they just put articles out that they got contracts for, right? So they're moving right along. Yeah, so this is actually pretty long, a pretty long article for that. But yeah, they're just moving them right along into the digital world. Let's see. Here's another article I should have put. But so this one says the Finance Committee sets the date for the 2024 budget scheduled to reach Parliament within a period not exceeding 10 days. So I like that better than 6 months, right? But what weird wording, right? But anyway, I'm not counting on that. I already have my heart broke by 10 days. So, but at least they're putting that in writing. Okay, so the quiet is over. For the second time today, missile launches. Oh, I wasn't going to say that. What was I going to say? Aggressive maneuvers towards an American base in Syria. Yep. So 3 days. We had 3 days of peace. And now this is fishy as all get out. And not in a good way. Okay, we're almost done. This is the last thing. Oh no. 2 things. But so this is military. So where is it? Yes, it's at the very bottom of the blog. So first I saw this article this morning. A UN official delivers a report to Judge Z. That's who this guy is. He's the Supreme Judicial Council judge. Fake. I really hope that's not how you say that name, but F-A-I-Q. Fake. But that's why I just call him Judge Z. Oh no. Okay. So it has to do with ISIS. A UN official delivers a report to Judge Z on the structure of the ISIS Treasury Office. I was like, we ain't heard ISIS. Oh, excuse me. We have not heard the name ISIS okay, you guys haven't. Years. Now, I've been watching ISIS. ISIS is back. They grab a couple of people here and there and, liquidate them. But it's not major. And then you might hear they'll run a report saying that the Iraqi security forces liquidated or neutralized 20 ISIS people, and then they'll give a location of where they got them. But right around the time they're asking our troops to leave, all of a sudden, look who we find. The administrative and financial official of ISIS was in Iraq. Okay, that, well, you know me, I don't trust anything. It just seems a little too coincidental. So I will tell you, I read this article, and I read this article, and then there's another one here that is very long that I did not and will not read, but I've put it here for your enjoyment. Okay? So, but here's the title. With the move to end the international coalition, what is the level of danger of ISIS in Iraq now? Yeah, see? Even they know, right? Even they're hinting. Like, all of a sudden, there's a level of danger from ISIS because we're asking the international coalition to leave. Isn't that crazy? Don't they think, if I can see that, don't they think, whatever. Okay, so the last thing I wanted to show you, I forgot to put on there, but I can show you here. Hold on. These are some projects, rather large projects. This one alone is $500 million. Iraq announces a tender. So they've been talking about this Baghdad metro for a week. And, oh, shoot. Okay, here's a map. I'm sure those lines are different colors, but guess what? They all look the same color to me. And so all the information, well, not all, but a lot of information is here if you want to read it. I am going to put that on the blog. So it talks about, it's a group of line routes using advanced trains. It even describes the train carriages consist of a gold class cabin, a special cabin for women and children, and tourists. So let me guess who sits in the gold class. Men, probably. But anyway, oh, thank God I live in America. Okay, and then if you click here, it's going to take you to 4 pages that are in English with even more information. And then here's another, but look at that image. They couldn't put a better image. Here's another project. These are 2 cities. Ooh, you know what? They're 2 holy cities at that. Najaf, and I'm surprised it doesn't say Holy Karbala. Usually when they print Karbala, it has the word holy in front of it. So yeah, that's another metro project. So if you want to read about that, go to the blog. It's there. And if you click there where it says more details, it'll take you to a PDF that is in English. All right. So we're not where we want to be, but we're moving right along, right? So thanks for listening. I hope this was helpful. I'm just trying to help people hang on. We know this is going to happen. We just don't know when it's going to happen. So while we accumulate, while we wait for the rate to appreciate, don't miss any meals and pay all your bills. Again, thank you for listening. Enjoy the rest of your morning, noon, night, daytime, whichever time frame you're enjoying this content in. And again, there's a video on the blog. All right, until next time.